Welcome to the Money Focus Podcast. I'm your host, Moses the Mentor. In this episode, we're diving into the dynamic world of real estate with Lucas Pinto, who's a leading figure in the industry. Lucas isn't just a top 1% realtor in Washington. He's a visionary entrepreneur who has guided his team to over $400 million in real estate transactions. So join us as we explore his journey, his insights, strategies for building wealth through real estate. So the first thing I want to start the show off with is to give you the floor to talk through your career journey and ultimately how you started your business. So the floor is yours.
Awesome. Well, hey, thank you for having me here. I'm grateful for the opportunity. And hopefully I have something of value to add to any of the listeners. So my story, depending how far back you go, I migrated here from Brazil when I was a kid. My parents were immigrants. When we migrated to the United States, my dad cleaned boats, my mom cleaned houses. And my perception is that this was paradise. The amount of opportunity that this country has, to me, was just mind-boggling. Up until I got to about 15 to 16 is when I started to notice that my social circle has cars. Their family's houses look like this and ours doesn't. And I started to realize there was a pretty big, that we were technically, lower class of income in America. And since 15, 16, I don't know what it was, but since I found that out, I was determined to fix the money problem. The money was always a problem in our household. Every month there was a shortage of money. Every month, my parents used to fight about it. No one in my family had it. And I was like, what the hell is this thing? And how do I get some of it to stop the fuss? So fast forward, man, I finished high school. I was considering going to college. I knew that wasn't for me. I was interested in finances. I was interested in business. I was interested in entrepreneurship. I just didn't know which route to take. So I got out of high school, packed my bags, moved across country to Washington State, did a few odd jobs in Washington State. And about 21, I got into sales, started doing inside sales for a company called Quote Wizard. That was my first six-figure job. And at the time, my God, I made it. This is it, Okay. And I kind of reached the ceiling at that company. And then right at 22, I had saved up some money. And I was, had a few ideas in mind, and one of the ideas was real estate. And I went to, funny enough, today he's my business partner in a separate business. At the time, he was one of my best friends and my most successful friend. And I went to him and I said, hey, Kurt, I'm thinking about getting into real estate, because he worked at Zillow and he was really high up at Zillow. And he looked at me and he said, man, don't get into real estate. It's so competitive. You're never going to make it. It's just too many people in it. That was 9 years ago. And since then, I took his advice and did the complete opposite. I went full into real estate. And today I have the number one midsize team in all of Seattle. My team does a little over 120 million in sales every single year. I've sold over 600 homes. I'm a real estate investor. I'm a real estate developer. I flip homes. Anything within real estate, I would say is my area of expertise, so to speak. This industry and this path led me to become a millionaire at 28 and financially free by 30. Today I just, I have a great life and I feel a sense of obligation to share my lessons and to help everyone as much as I can. So that's a little bit about my story.
No, I mean, it's a great story. And I actually want to ask you some, a few probing questions to help the audience a little bit and also help me. Now, the first thing you said that I want to ask you about is the fact that you said that college wasn't for you. And I want to talk a little bit about that because I'm married to a PhD, right? And I'm also a college graduate. So education, post-secondary education, that's something that's the fabric of our household, right? But
Nice.
I do believe that not everyone should go to college, or at least out the gate. You know, what made you say that you were in college material? Was it the grades? Was it the pace? Because
Well,
just for me personally, I used to get good grades because I'm really competitive.
yeah,
Not because not because I really loved the topics, to be
yeah,
honest with you, the subjects. I just used to go to school and be like, there's no way this dude can get an A and I can't get an A. You know what I
right.
mean? That's just the type
Well,
of
I
DNA
wish
I
I
have.
had that when it
So
came
what
to
was it for you? Yeah.
man.
What was it for
You
you?
know, so a few things. I messed around way too much in high school. You know what I mean? So that's number one. I was just chasing after girls and playing sports. So that's the first thing. The second thing is the pressure of not knowing exactly what I wanted to do really crushed me. And the idea of going to college just to go. I think if I would have gotten some sort of scholarship or financial aid, I probably would have went. But I've always been money driven, right? So I got out of high school and I'm like, wait, I'm going to pay this much a year to learn something that, number one, I don't want to be in school. Number two, I don't even know what I want to do, but I'm going to cut this check and go into debt. That to me didn't make sense. And then the deeper, and I entertain, trust me, this was the reason why I moved to Washington State. It's because I couldn't stay in my hometown. I felt like a loser, dude. The pressure from my colleagues going to college, from my friends, my parents just nagging me, what are you going to do with your life? And I didn't know. And they're like, I'm 18. I don't know. I just know that I don't want to go $50,000, $60,000 into debt for something. You know what I mean? So I think for me, if I had some sort of scholarship, I probably would have went. But the idea of going into debt for it didn't make sense to me. And plus, the more I sat with it, the more I wrestled with it, I'm like, wait, I'm going to go learn finances or business from someone who's never started a business. To me, I've always chosen my mentors based off the results. Like if I'm going to have a personal trainer in the gym, I want the most jacked guy to be my trainer. I've always been like that.
Makes sense.
So for me, it wasn't the right choice. Now, look, I have friends they've gone to college and their degrees, even though they might not be utilizing their degrees, it opened up so many doors for them, right? The connections that they made and they learned how to discipline themselves in college to get the right grade and to pass the classes. So certainly there is benefit in it. I just think I just think the benefit has significantly diminished throughout the last several years. I think the ROI of college is getting pretty slim. So,
What I always say is that it's better to have a plan. Like a plan is better than a degree. Now, because if your plan requires you to have a degree, then by all means you need to go to college. But in your case, you were someone that realized, whether it was a long road to realization and maybe you had to burn some bridges with people to get there. But ultimately you said, hey, I'm not willing to put myself further in debt. You took a chance on yourself and you were able to get a 6-figure job, which is not common even for a college graduate. You were able to get a 6-figure job with no degree and then ultimately build a business. So for the people that's listening, I think, what I want to spotlight on my podcast is that there's definitely no shame in getting a degree. And it's no shame of not having a degree. What I want you to do is really put a plan in place that aligns to your skill set. And like you mentioned, getting a mentor. Like my name is Moses the Mentor. I'm an advocate of being around people who are successful that's willing to teach. Yeah. All someone needs to do is ask me and I will teach you, because typically successful people, when they see something in someone, they say, whoa, that was me 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They're willing to reach back most of the time. I don't know if that's your experience, but the people 100%. I know that are successful, they're more than willing to do it. for sure.
Always. And that's on that topic, Moses. Like, I think 14 years ago was when I graduated high school. Back then, I was actively looking for mentors. Nowadays, there's mentors all around. Like, I'm a mentor to a lot of people. There's coaching, there's consulting. I think one of the best things a person could do today is take the money they would have spent in college and go hire this mentor, go hire that coach, go hire this person, go hire this guy, and learn those skill sets. You're probably going to spend less money, and I think you're probably going to get a better education. Everything that I know and that I am today is because someone taught me. I had a mentor, I had a coach. Some of it, I was fortunate enough to stumble across the right mentor. But as you know, you get to a certain point where you got to pay to learn the next level up. Yeah. And that's just part of it, and so I'm just because I didn't go to college, I'm a lifelong learner, man. Like, just like you, I'm constantly reading, reaching out to, I have coaches, mentors, consultants. I probably spent close to $1 million in books, seminars, coaching programs, and it was well worth it. It's been the best investment I've ever made.
And that's another reason why I love, doing this show, because when you hear $1 million, right? For most people, even for me, I'm still working my way up to that millionaire status. That sounds like a lot, but I interviewed a gentleman not long ago, and he talked about investing in yourself. And to hear you say, "Hey, I spent $1 million," and you're not like pulling your hair out saying, "I can't believe it was $1 million lost." Like, you're saying, "Hey, like that was worth it." Like, I spent $1 million. Now I'm in a position to make 10 million. Like, and that's where people's mindset has to get to there.
I'll share this quick story, because I'm always reaching, and I'm always putting myself in uncomfortable situations. The last coaching program I signed up for, which I'm still part of this group, it's called the Black Card Group. This is a group of it's this guy, Bridger is his name, Bridger Pennington. And he has this fund launch live, and his elite group is called the Black Card Group. And this is a group of fund managers. So hedge fund managers, real estate fund managers, and also emerging fund managers like myself. I'm brand new into this world of funds. I paid $35,000 to be part of this group. I mean, that was, to me, I signed up 2 years ago. That was a disgusting amount of money. I'm like, $35K to be part of a group? You know what I mean? That's absurd. The first event I go to, first one, it's where we flew out to Salt Lake City, and we're in a room with maybe 100 people. And the gentleman who's sitting next to me, we chatted for a few minutes. He flew there private, in his private jet. And he has a $500 million fund. And we're chatting. I have his number on my phone. Through that group, I met the first billionaire I've ever met, face to face, shook his hand, had a conversation. So it's like, is that really worth it? Are you kidding me? Like, if $35,000 to get access to a person that's worth $1 billion, and the reality of why most people don't do it is because they're scared to bet on themselves. I know that's been the case for me in the past, but what if I spend the money and I don't do anything with it? So that I think mentors is crucial, dude. I think it's crucial. So
I appreciate, you breaking that down, and it's good to hear. I mean, the money I've spent, again, not close to $1 million yet, but, it just lets me know that, you have to be willing to bet on yourself, because it takes time, but also one interaction, just like I'm sure, in your business, one sale can change your life. Yep. One meeting can change your life. So you have to put yourself in places where people can actually level you up. So that's key.
That's it, man. Love it.
So what were your initial challenges when you first started in real estate that you can talk to us about?
So my first 6 months in real estate, really my first 4 months in real estate, I tried a bunch of things and I was really trying, but my energy was so dispersed in every direction. I had no mentors. I had no guidance. I had no set plan. I was just trying a lot of different things and nothing really worked. I spent a bunch of money. I went, over $10,000 in credit card debt. At the time, I burned through a lot of my savings that I had saved to get into real estate. At the time, I had 2 roommates and rent was coming due and I'm running out of money. And right around the 4th month in real estate, I joined a different brokerage. In that brokerage, I found a mentor. I found someone who really took me under his wing and taught me the game and how to do things and how to set up my schedule and what to say to consumers and how real estate worked. So the first 6 months in real estate, I sold 0 homes. I made $0. The next 6 months of real estate, I believe I sold 19 homes in 6 months, and I made most amount of money I've ever made. It was something like $156,000 in that 6 month period. And to me, I remember like sitting at a coffee shop, calculating all my escrows. I had something like 9 escrows. I was super busy, just running around like crazy, servicing these clients. But I was sitting there looking at the money that I'm about to make. I'm like, oh my God, can't believe I'm going to make this much money. To me, that was life-changing. So the thing that really changed was having some sort of mentor and having some sort of blueprint that I could execute on. It's really tough for you to figure something out from scratch. Most of us are much better off taking a blueprint from somebody, applying that, doing that blueprint for 1 to 2 years, and then adding your own twist and your own flavor and style to it. Right. So I think that was the pivot for me, was really when I found that mentor and when I found the blueprint that was proven, essentially. So
is that pretty much the core of your coaching programs called the Winner's Circle?
Winner's Circle.
Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, so the program, the idea of this program came because through Instagram, I had realtors reaching out. I had just individuals reaching out, asking me questions about real estate or asking me questions about, what's your workout split or things relating to my life. And I always felt a sense of obligation to answer those questions, to grab coffee with anybody. I've always said yes. Never once did I say no to anybody. Nice. But it was getting to the point where it was like, dude, I'm going to be grabbing coffees all day if this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? Right. So I eventually created a program, and this is the same program that really changed my life. In the program, the idea of the program, it's an entry-level program. It's $399 a month. It's $999 for a 3-month commitment, right? And the program is around mindset, fitness, and real estate. So when someone comes into the program, and majority of my clients that are in the program, the very first thing that we do is we look at your daily habits. And for most people, they want to go build a successful real estate team, or they want to become a millionaire, or they want to get in the best shape of their life. But I look at their daily habits and I'm like, you're sleeping till 10 a.m. You're eating crap the whole day, right? Your self-talk is extremely negative to where you're projecting negative things into your life that have not even happened. Right. And we're all guilty of that. I'm not right. But these are things that I've been able to sort out myself through the years. And so when somebody comes in, we get their habits sorted out. We get this person, hey, you're going to wake up at this time, Monday through Friday. You're going to take some time for yourself first thing in the morning. You're going to sit there. You're going to reflect on your life. You're going to breathe, meditate, pray if that's what you're into. You're going to read something productive, and then you're going to crush this workout. Here's the workout. It's got all the videos, how many reps. I'll tell you what the books to read, what to put in your mind, the meditations to use, right? And the first thing I want to get a person really solidified in their life is a morning process that makes them get out of the morning just like, I'm ready. So if you're coming in your day with that type of state, you start your day just by waking up at the right time. You have the right nutrients in your body. Spiritually, you're sound. You go and read something that serves you and helps you develop the person that you want to be. Then you go and do something for your physical body. Now you're ready. Now you're ready to go build a business. Now you're ready to go solve other people's problems because you sorted yourself out first. Now, what's crazy about this, man, and I could show you some of these clients' transformations, some reviews, and people's testimonials. If you do this for a week, you feel pretty good. You do this for a month, you start to notice life is a little different. You did this for 3 to 6 months, you're a different person. You're a different person from an energy level, from a physical perspective, from a financial level. You're just different. Why? Because you have completely different set of habits. So that's the whole idea of the program. The first few months, we don't even talk business. Because if I get a person that comes in and I tell them what I'm doing for real estate investing, and this person can't even get themselves up in the morning, dude, you ain't going to do what I'm doing. Let's be honest.
Do what you do.
You know what I mean? So we focus on developing the individual who could overcome the problem. It's developing the individual first. Then we get to how to build a business or how to make money. So
Health is wealth, and it's something for sure for me. Those healthy habits is something I'm trying to implement. The one thing I hate getting up early and working out. Like I'd rather work out late, but I understand that, hey, it's important to start the day like that because it's out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's you take care of you first. So I do like that concept. My wife is big about doing it in the morning too, because, it's just, you can always check it off because think about it. Your day start getting ahead of you and you're like, oh, I didn't work out. Now it's dinner time and you don't do it.
That's why I get it done first thing in the morning, bro. Because I'm with you. I get way better workouts in the afternoon. But I know as soon as some crap hits in business, because by the afternoon, my day is no longer mine. My phone is ringing. This is happening. I got to be here. I got to be there. But the morning, no one's awake. I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. Ain't no one calling me. Ain't no one bugging me. My meditation is mine. My workout is mine. It's my world, my thoughts. I get to organize that. And then by around 8 a.m., you already know how it goes. There's people calling, this is happening. So that's why we emphasize the morning process, And for a lot of it, and trust me, everything that I teach, these are things that took me years to figure it out. Like the wake up time, dude, it took me years of trying to figure this thing out. And usually what I found, and same for my clients, there was always a little tweak in there, a little adjustment. They're like, oh, I'm a morning person now. And for me, that little tweak was this: a second alarm away from the bed. I couldn't wait. I would have an alarm ringing and ringing and ringing. I wouldn't wake up. As soon as I put a second one away from the bed, I'm up now. And it's like it becomes So
very true. No, that makes sense, man. Just for you, I'm gonna work out in the morning tomorrow. First thing in the morning, I'm gonna try.
Bro, tag me on the workout too.
All right, cool.
Tag me on the workout. I love it. I'm all for it.
So I want to go back a little bit about you. Obviously you became you still are a top rank real estate agent, but at some point you became a broker and had agents. Is that correct? You have a team under you. Talk about that transition where you went from being this top agent and then moved into broker status and then helped develop a team.
So my first few years in real estate, my production was pretty high, but I wasn't necessarily a business owner.
Mm.
I was a salesperson. I was a high level salesperson. And eventually I had people reaching out to me asking, hey, can I be on your team? And really first person that I hired was an assistant because I just needed help. And it was a mess, man, because I hired an assistant thinking she was going to help me. She didn't know what she was doing. I didn't know how to train. It was those pains of learning how to become a business owner, right? But through that process, I hired my first assistant. She became a realtor on my team. And then eventually the team just naturally grew. I never really intentionally advertised. It was a lot of, people reaching out through social media or seeing what I'm doing and wanted to be a part of it. Fast forward to today, our team there's about 12 of us, including myself. And the team is just absolutely amazing. These are people that I work with every single day. These are people that I taught the industry to. Every broker on my team is top 10% in our marketplace. So these are people who are true professionals. And yeah, man, and it's, for me, it was extremely rewarding, to pass along what I learned. I think it made me, and throughout that process, I learned how to become a leader. I learned how to develop leadership skills. I learned the industry better, right? And yeah, so, it was a natural transition over time. And a lot of the individuals that I coach and I mentor today, they want to have a big real estate team, and perhaps a person is in another industry and they want to have a bigger team, and that's not always the route to go. Your focus on increasing your team should be, the bigger you increase your team, the bigger your net profitability grows, right? My team at one point was 17 people, but my net profitability went down. That didn't make sense, right? So anyone who's looking to scale their business, real estate business, or whatever industry that you're at, if you're in business to help people and to make money. So you need to know your numbers and your net profitability, and you need to grow your environment if growing your environment means that your top line revenue is also growing and your net profitability is also increasing.
So when you were at 17 compared to where you're at 12 now, I mean, what was different? What made your profitability go up when you actually reduced the number of people on your team? So is there anything you can point out?
Great question. Yeah. So when I had a bigger team, I noticed that a few things really had to change. I was spreading myself way too thin. I had 17 people on my team, but I wasn't really holding anybody accountable. I had no system to hold people accountable. So I have since put better systems and processes to hold everybody accountable, including myself. And I am now an open book with the numbers. I'm the CEO of the business. I'm taking all the risk. I'm paying all the bills. I'm like, if we win, I get to make a profit. But if we lose, I'm the one taking a haircut. And I'm so transparent with everybody on the team. Like it's the environment is big enough for everybody to make money. You can make as much money as you want. I will do my best to help you, but I'm in business to help people and to make a profit, right? And I think a lot of times it's interesting, man, as you grow and you develop, and there were people that were on that when my team was bigger. There were people who I thought were going to be lifelong friends and partners. And over time, I've noticed that a few of those people were beginning to resent me until I caught proof that they were beginning to resent me, And I think that's something that, hopefully never happens to you, but it's the reality of the world.
Yeah.
And you will
Yeah.
feel it. Energy is one of those things that you can't deny. You know what I mean? If someone's truly happy for you, you're going to feel it. If someone is not celebrating your wins with you, you're also going to feel it.
Not everyone is going to be along for the ride, and people need to be okay with that,
Oh man,
because those are the people that hold you. Those are the people that hold you back from moving forward.
that's
Yeah.
exactly it. And my thing is that I wanted so bad for these people to be along for the ride, but they didn't want to be along for my ride. You know what I mean? So it was one of those things where it was like, and my feelings were hurt. And since then I became a much wiser, more mature business owner. I remember my mentor at the time, he's been in this industry for like 20 something years. And when my team was eventually really, we broke apart, it was nasty, pending lawsuits and the whole thing. And my mentor goes to me, he's like, "Oh, this is the first time this is happening to you?" You know what I mean? Like, he's been through it. He's seen it all,
Okay.
so.
That's funny. So you said that you also invest in real estate. What type of investments do you do today?
My wealth was built off of investing in real estate, not brokering deals in real estate. I made money selling real estate, and I was just wise enough to take that money and buy some real estate with it. And when I started, I was not savvy at all. I started off by first place was I purchased a condo, and then I rented that condo out. I was cash flow positive, and I cashed out, refinanced, bought a townhome, lived in the townhome. I eventually, a few years down the road, sold the condo and the townhome, took that money and bought a 20-unit apartment building in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So today my portfolio is made up of, so I have 20 units that are my buy and hold properties in Clarksville, Tennessee. Those 20 units pay me every single month in cash flow, anywhere from $10,000 to $13,000. So that investment made me financially free. That was the one that kind of, okay, I could pay all my bills just from the cash flow of this property. So I have 20 units in Clarksville, Tennessee. I have my primary home here in Seattle, and I currently have 2 flips going on here in Seattle as well. For most of my career, and if you were to ask me what type of investor I am, I'm a big fan of buy and hold cash flow. That's
me.
It's the simplest way to do it, the least amount of risk. It's not a get rich quick, it's a get rich for sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You get some tax benefits because you get to depreciate that asset or do a cost segregation analysis. Now, over the last year and a half, I've gotten involved more in flipping, and I've been doing a lot more flips. And what I'm looking to buy moving forward is bigger deals. I want to buy. So, for example, I started a real estate fund. This real estate fund it's a 506c. What this fund does is it goes and we go out and raise money from accredited investors, and we go out and buy an apartment building, 40, 50, 60 units. We buy this apartment building, we make it nicer, we bump up the rents, we lower the expenses, therefore increasing the value of the property, right? And that's basically the main thing that we're focusing on right now is apartment buildings in the Sun Belt coast of America. So we're looking at markets like Texas. We've looked at a few deals in Georgia, Tennessee, Florida. But yeah, man, I will buy, if it's a deal, I'll buy anywhere. I've done sub-twos, I've developed, I've done everything within real estate. So
for the listeners, what is an accredited investor versus just your normal investor? So what does a person have to be considered an accredited investor?
Yeah, great question. So an accredited investor is just someone who earns north of $250,000 a year. I believe it's $250,000 a year income, or they have a net worth of $1 million, right? And this is kind of completely different topic, but Think about this concept. You could go out in Vegas today and you could gamble all your money and there's no restriction, right? However, if you want to invest your money on a really good deal, which is because all the best deals are in private equity, they're not in Wall Street. All the best deals are reserved for the accredited investor, so to speak, which is complete BS, and it's the more I understood money, wealth, taxes, the more I kind of start to see how the system in a lot of ways is set up for the wealthy to stay wealthy, and it's this is why I love this type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
appreciate it.
People need to know. Number one, it's not that complicated. If you live in this country, you could be rich, dude. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Number two is you need to learn the rules of the game. They're not complicated, but you need to learn it, right? So this platform teaching people that is extremely valuable, man. It really is. But that's basically an accredited investor. It's a person who's wealthy, and the government deems that, well, they're wealthy. They know what they're competent enough to know what to do with their money.
To know exactly. And I like the example, like what you said, like someone can win, take their lotto winnings and go blow it, it's no problem. But they're going to reserve people this accredited status before they go into a sound investment opportunity. Versus it's so backwards,
It is.
Let someone who worked hard for their money and put it in a place where they can actually get a better return.
Yeah.
Instead, you just say, hey, go do 401k, set it and forget it, work 40, 50 years and hope it's high when you retire. That's not the life that I want my audience to have.
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you. It's better than doing nothing.
Yeah.
But we need to be focused on doing the best with our money, not just the safest or not even safe. I'm not even going to use that word because, the stock market can crash at any given time. So not even the safest, but we have to be focused on maximizing our hard-earned money, whether it's actively earned, passively earned, whatever, putting your money to good use. So appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, love it.
What advice would you give to someone who's trying to get into real estate investing or even start and just being an agent in real estate? What's some advice you want to leave the audience with?
Great question. So if you're getting started, well, for either of those, I think the best piece of advice I could give you is go out and hire a coach or a mentor. Pay the money, because if you don't pay the money, you're not going to take it seriously. Do your due diligence on whoever you hire. And in today's age, you could figure out who you're dealing with after a few hours of research. Find a mentor that resonates with you and has actually accomplished what you're looking to accomplish. Pay them the money and learn the lesson in the blueprint and apply it. And I think that's, for me today, I have coaches and mentors for everything. Everything. I have a boxing coach. I have a nutrition coach. I have a business coach, right? And I'm reaching out to people that are operating at a higher level than me on that specific topic, on that specific subject. I think that is the fastest way for you to acquire a skill in today's world. So that would be my piece of recommendation. If you're looking to become a better investor, try to find the right mentor or coach. If you're looking to become a realtor, try to find the best mentor or coach. Now, if you don't yet have the money to go out and hire a mentor or coach, I think most people don't work hard enough, to be honest. I think most people don't truly put in the hours, even at the start, man. Like I look back and I'm like, I grinded, dude. I still even today, I don't need to work anymore. I work. I'm a workhorse. You know what I mean? I think if you just simply build, And it doesn't have to be forever, but if someone's starting out and they're like, you know what, for 2 months, I'm just going to put my head down and I'm going to achieve my damn goals and go to work. After 2 months, you're going to have enough money where you could reinvest in yourself or something. I think that the sooner you actually sit with yourself and you have that honest conversation of, am I actually going to pay the price? If so, let's do it and quit wasting the time, right? Or no, hey, this isn't something I'm really willing to commit to. I don't care which one it is, as long as you decide, get aligned, your day to day, your habits, get it aligned with the end result that you want. And you're going to see the energy that brings to your life and how you feel about yourself and how good you feel about yourself. So I would urge everybody to get clear on that and have that honest self dialogue and figure out if your actions are truly aligned with the future that you want.
That makes perfect sense. It sounded like to me, what I always think of when what you're talking about is it boils down to discipline. It boils down to discipline. How disciplined are you? How big is your why? Does your why outweigh the the grind that you're dreading? so it makes sense. So appreciate that. Before we go, talk to us about how we can reach you. Shout out your website, social media, any upcoming events or services you want to call out. The floor is yours, man. Close it up.
Yeah, for sure. So the best way to connect with me is on Instagram. My IG is Luke, LUKE _ winning. Luke _ is winning. That's probably the best method to get a hold of me. I'm friendly. If you have any questions, if you want to talk shop or whatever the case might be, if you want to join the coaching program, whatever it might be, I'm here to serve, right? I'm here to help. And that's mainly my main platform. And then from there, you can kind of see our website, my YouTube channel and everything else. And yeah, we'd love to hear from your listeners. Would love to see what the audience is doing. And once again, I mean, I hope you guys got some value out of this. And hey, man, I'm super grateful for you for having me on. And I truly appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And, I hope the audience definitely learned a lot from you. You got an inspiring story, some great motivational tips, and just a true, success story overall, just really grinding and still grinding. So I just really appreciate you doing that and taking the time out your grind to come and talk to us. So I appreciate you, man.
I love this. I appreciate it.
So Lucas, thank you again for jumping on the show, sharing your journey, providing those great insights with us on this show. Your story is a powerful testament to what's possible in the world of real estate, and with the right mindset and strategies, the sky's the limit. To my listeners, for more empowering stories and insights like this, make sure to tap into my website, mosesthementor.com, and also make sure to subscribe to Moses the Mentor on YouTube. So stay focused on your goals. And until next time, keep building your real estate empire, one property at a time. Peace.